Good evening.
Hi, everyone.
Welcome in. I've got a lot of people already hanging out in the chat, so thank you guys for hanging out and waiting for us to get started. Shout out a couple people here. Kilgore Trout was hanging out with us way early, so thank you for being in here. Comics Talk Weekly and TM Nerdy are also hanging out. Station TM Nerdy. Wesley's Comic Collection, and let's see, X11 Bravo. I mean, I can neither confirm nor deny that comment there. Who else we got in here? Lewis Shadow Rabbit Clay Guy hanging out with us. And then the other version of Phil. And more people coming in right now. HK Wifey, welcome in. Comic Crack, welcome in. And one more, Appreciate from Norfolk. Welcome in, everybody. Tonight we have back to the channel, co-founder and co-publisher Behemoth Comics. Everyone give a warm welcome to Lord Behemoth himself, Nathan Yocum.
Yeah.
What's going on?
We need to get that hype horn button. Like, pew, 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 pew.
I know. You're muted.
Well, now. Well, I was just talking about your rad intro. Is that a new one or is that the same one?
I think I had a different one back then, actually.
No?
No, yeah, it's totally a new one. I know what I'm talking
We've been
about.
doing that for a while.
I had
It's been a while.
I've been using the thing that used to be my intro as my outro now, I think. I don't have it actually uploaded on here.
Fancy.
Yeah.
Oh, it was cool. I dig it.
The more you know.
Thanks. Caroline was dancing. Well, thanks for coming back and hanging out with us on the channel and talking about everything Behemoth Comics.
Yeah, for sure, man. For sure. Fun times, right? Everything's good?
Yeah, everything's good here. We just got tropical storm coming in over here.
Yeah.
You've got heat waves and power surges down there.
Yeah. Good stuff, man.
Pretty nice weather.
All well.
Yeah, it just never ends. But convention season's back and places are open again. So I think that's all changed since we last spoke. So that's good stuff.
Yeah, I got to go to one in Pensacola, Florida, actually a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, I saw that, man. How was that one?
That was pretty cool. It was actually technically that was my second convention I've ever been to.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. So it was good to experience, like, it had been like 3 or 4 years since I'd been to one. So it was really like the real comic experience I felt like at that one too. And yeah, it was a good time.
Yeah, we got to bring you out to like New York or San Diego or something like that. It'll change everything.
How come with New York? Because that's my dad's birthday.
Oh,
or not my dad's, sorry, my mom's birthday. My dad's birthday.
I was gonna say, here's the funny thing: it's my mom's birthday too, but I'm still going, so you have no excuse.
Well, I'm also doing a big trip in October anyway. We're going to Baltimore, so work only lets you do like so much in a month.
Okay, I'll take that excuse. Yeah, I was gonna say, so we got New York in October. Well, so in September we have one before that. There's this one in Texas called Texas Frightmare, which is always like a really cool one to go to.
Whoa,
it's like a horror-based convention, and just a bunch of horror stuff is there. So we've always gone to that one. But we got New York Comic Con in October. Yeah, it's really cool. 106 degrees there.
That's a no for me.
I would say, where are you at?
That's a no for me.
Kilgore, where are
Florida?
you? Man.
Sounds like Florida.
I think actually it's like the middle of the country is getting the real heat wave right now.
Dude, something's going on. It feels like death.
Shout out Kevin's hanging out with us here.
Is that dude a cult leader? We should have had him on here, man. We should have had the whole crew on here. I say you got Brett Murphy in the comments too. You should have had him on here. We could have had a whole little Behemoth crew chat.
I'll just send them the link and see if they pop on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, if they want to, because we know Caroline doesn't have much time, so we don't. We can always. Yeah, you're limited. No, we can always plan another one, but yeah, good stuff.
Oh my God, where do you? Oh God, my uncle just
Vegas.
moved to Vegas.
That explains everything.
Yeah,
Vegas.
You have casinos and other legal things.
Yeah, Vegas is fun. We always go out there they have this licensing expo out there called Las Vegas Licensing Expo, and we always go out there, and then we always forget how hot it is every year because it's in the summer and it's miserable.
Oof.
It's a good city though.
And
I've never been, but I want to go.
do want to say shout out to Kevin and his comic launching Freak Snow with Happy Tank.
Yeah, so you bought the original art for that?
I did.
My man.
Yeah, Drew Moss's cover for it was cover B, I believe.
Beautiful.
Yeah, and made Kevin a little jealous.
Jealous, man. Yeah, we like to try to get our original art and hang it up, and well, you beat us to it. So
He posted about it, and
yeah, so we'll blame him.
he had his shot.
Yeah.
Nah. But yeah, it's had a lot of cool things happening with Behemoth since we last talked.
Dude, right? I'm trying to think of what else has happened since we last talked. Well, I know, was that around like You Promised Me Darkness coming out? I think it was.
It was pre-Promise Me Darkness, but
Mhm.
it was up on the.
It was on the hype train.
One of the
Right.
ones that was coming up very soon.
Well, that was the crazy thing with that one. So, like, before that, the best a comic had ever sold for us was like 15,000 copies, which, is nothing too crazy. So, but that like kept us in like this like smaller, like lower indie, like echelon, like little tiny area of publishers, and we never had any say. And then You Promised Me Darkness came out, and that thing sold 30,000. And then we had a second printing, and then we had a third printing, and eventually it surpassed 55,000 copies sold of the first issue alone. And so the cool thing was that one kind of opened up these new avenues for us. And then with Kevin's imprint, MFKZ #1 sold 40,000 copies. So the really rad thing about that is it's a little bit of reflective of like things coming back and everybody like really excited and buying some stuff and a lot of speculators. But it's really rad. So it opened up a lot of new avenues for us, a lot of new sales. And so the cool thing is, and I told you about this, but with Diamond, we're going to be on FOC now.
Yeah.
We got the official today. It's going to be our October releases. So not Turbo Kid, but the thing's coming out in October, which is also going to be when we get our own little section in the catalog. And I don't know if you saw those ad pages I posted, but they're pretty
I did, and I might have screenshotted those, and we can
you
show
son
them
of a
if you have permission to show them.
He's already ready.
Yeah, dude, they're really cool. So those took forever, man. But I think they're pretty cool. So we got to do that monthly now. We'll have our own little section in the catalog. It even says like Behemoth, like when you're flipping through it. And so we got a new rep, and then being on FOC gets us on this like smaller tier of. It's like a thing. Well, FOC, but it's like a thing where you would say probably like the top 25-ish publishers are on it, somewhere around there. And it gets you on your own little list. So there's a lot of stores that and a lot of consumers that only order based off of that.
One of my stores is one of those stores.
Yeah, a lot of stores are. So that's a cool thing. It's a whole new thing for us, and we're excited. And Kevin's overly excited in the chat.
Kevin's losing it.
Let's see, I see Cinnamon there, Freak Snow.
Oh, MFKZ.
The last one's, the first one's MFKZ. And Turbo Kid.
Yeah, last one's Turbo Kid.
Oh, that's great. I love it.
I like the MFKZ one. But yeah, so FOC, that was really good. Like I said, sales have kind of gone up. Simon & Schuster, even though that was like a thing, like literally a thing back in actually 2020, it's just those books are now kind of coming out. So being in like traditional bookstores now is a cool thing. And then both sells. Comixology, same thing. We signed that in 2020, but those books are just now like floating over there. So a lot of cool stuff has just been kind of rolling out that like, and as you know, like I've talked to you, Jeremy, like about like some things that are like coming up, but like as you know, it's just that it's like behind the scenes for like months. And there's seriously, so one of those books that I told you about one of the Netflix movies that we've been adapting. Yeah. We signed that back in 2019 before we were even a company. Like they were asking us, they were like, are you changing your name? Or like, have you filed? Like, and we signed that back in like 2019 and it still has yet to like even start like full production. And that's because of like the deal with Netflix has been like really weird, and Netflix has been going through COVID obviously. And so they're kind of like slow on, greenlighting certain things. So, but yeah, there's a lot of stuff behind the scenes. But anyways, what I'm trying to say here is that like a lot of stuff is slowly finally rolling out, and good stuff coming.
Lots of things coming into place to the moon.
To the moon, yeah. Yeah, that's right.
Oh man, what do we got here?
Oh my man, yeah. Yeah, I think that was one of Damien's big influences. It was David Lynch, and like on the comic book end, I think he was talking about like Umbrella Academy was his other like. He took like David Lynch as in terms of like Twin Peaks and stuff like that, but then on the side of comics, it was Umbrella Academy. So he just makes those two together. So it's pretty cool. By the way,
working my way through that.
Oh, you are nice. I was gonna say, by the way, on You Promised Me Darkness, we do have a sequel coming to that, and it's gonna be pretty rad.
Nice.
Yeah. So
Damien, we had Damien on the channel sometime.
Oh, did you really?
The last.
I missed that.
I don't know.
It was right when it was first coming out, the week before.
Yeah, because it was supposed to release and it was later, so we had scheduled him to come on like the day after release, and that was when we met.
But instead, it was a week before.
Yeah, he's a super cool dude. He's so cool. It's crazy. Like as I'm sure, like he told you about, like how he like broke his wrist and stuff like that, and so he wasn't able to do art for like 10 years. So this is his first comic he did forever, and it's a crazy thing that thing
pretty
blew up.
Pretty good comic to be your first,
Right.
Yeah. So it's been crazy.
His writing. I just got this in the last order I put in with you guys.
Yeah.
I got to read this still. It just came in the other day.
Sweet. Yeah, that's a good one. That's he did the writing on that, and Kundo Crunch did the art on that. He's a really cool artist. Unique style.
What a name.
Yeah, right.
What a name.
I really hope that is his actual like full name, like not art.
Funny thing, it might be, because I remember that's the thing. Like when we were signing the contract with him, we were like, "We need your legal name," and he was like, Kundo Crunch. He just sent it back. I'm like, listen, we need your legal name. He just sends it back again. We're just like, fuck it. Like, well, just sign here.
Oh my god.
It might be.
Yes.
I just read that, Kevin. I literally just read it yesterday or the day before.
Yeah. That one's in the as you saw, Jamie, that one's in the October releases. Yeah. And the sequel to that's coming in October as well. Found Footage 2, which is like a completely different direction. It's like it takes place on like a dating show, and it's super weird, but I think people are gonna really dig it. So. Yeah.
Can I show the image?
Yeah, sure, totally.
Okay. Just want to make sure that we weren't like breaking or something.
It looks so good, but of course I gotta get the one that looks like a VCR.
Yeah.
It's VHS. Wow, I forgot the
VCR.
letters. It's been years, guys.
Yeah.
So it's pretty
cool. Thing is, I still own a lot of tapes.
Oh, okay.
Like from my childhood.
Yeah. So the first volume's relisted in the catalog. It's 160 pages for $9.99. It's a pretty good deal. And then the second one there is 176 pages, $11.99, and then you have the limited edition one there, which again is like last time where it's like a small run, and and a few extra little things come in there, like I think like a sticker, and then
I didn't expect that, and I opened it and I was like, oh whoa, cool,
yeah,
extra
pretty cool stuff. Jeremy, I remember that. Did you get the link working for that preview?
I don't remember when we talked. I don't know. In this like ransom note kind of thing.
Yeah, it's weird. So like Marvin actually had a really cool, like his version came with a bunch of other cool stuff that we just couldn't replicate in it. So if anybody ever gets his edition of it, I think people will like. But it's obviously it's in Portuguese, but it's cool. Yeah, next Found Footage is gonna be super rad, man. I think people are gonna like it.
I love it. I love the format of the book too.
Yeah,
like, I don't know. I had a really fun time with it.
Yeah, we're always exploring things like that to do weird stuff. That's what keeps it going. There's a sequel part of the download that said to be continued. Yeah. So that's the download is the first 60 pages of the 176. So you actually kind of read a lot already, but again, it's pretty cheap. So, but yeah, those first 60 pages were part of it.
Awesome.
Makes you want to read more of it.
It's like C-list.
Necromorphous. It's one of my favorites. I love it.
You actually
it's like
found
one
that?
of my favorites.
That's a bummer of a book that was like part of the COVID thing, like where the sales on that compared to like you probably, like I said, You Promised Me Darkness like 30, 40, 50,000 copies, and Necromorphous was like 3,000 copies of the first issue. And it's just
that's one of my favorite books that came out.
Yeah, like it didn't do it justice. I feel like it's a really good book, and but because of COVID, because we had just started at that point. But the good news about that one is, so like the sequel's coming to that one, but Gabriel's actually doing that one in color. So we have. Yeah, so Necromorphous in color is what we're calling it, and it'll be listed. I think maybe before the end of the year it'll be listed. Fingers crossed.
Are you guys doing Savants of Sound 2 this book or no? Nice.
Yep.
That I'm very excited for.
Yeah, that one's cool. I've only read the first issue, sadly.
Do we know when it's coming?
So he just finished the second issue because Abel, the guy who's the artist on Necromorphos, is the artist on that one, and he's been working.
Hey, Gabriel's in here.
Wow.
He knows I love his book.
Speaking of him,
yeah.
well, I guess he could probably say better than I could, but I think the whole thing was Abel was doing a series with another company. I don't know if I can say the company, but he's doing a series with another company, and he's just busy. But now to my knowledge, he's back on that series, and it'll be going.
That's what I'm very excited for.
Yeah. Actually, it's really probably the reason I fell down the Behemoth rabbit hole is her and Necromorphos.
Yeah, it's a good series, man. Now that we get to do it in color again, and the sales get to be proper, another 15, 20,000 copies on the number one like it should. And we'll do some cool covers for it, and I
just picked it up. I was like, oh, this looks interesting. Come on, just grab it. And I was like, oh, this is great. What? This is great.
I'm glad you dig it. We sent it off for the Eisners. It didn't get a nomination, but we tried. The one we were kind of surprised Found Footage didn't. So Found Footage, we sent it off for the there was a weird catalog like best packaging or something like that, or best design. Oh. We were like, well, we should win that. We got nothing. Yeah, I was about to say C-List, Eamon, he gave them a Rookie of the Year award for their podcast.
They did they held like categories and everything, like own YouTube version of probably like the Eisners, but that's pretty cool.
He won something. So
I mean that's
that's the cool thing. Now that we get to re-release, I was gonna say now that we get to re-release Necromorphos, we can submit it again. So why not?
Yeah, there we go.
Yeah,
awesome. There's so many other. Like I just looking at the things that you've told me that haven't been announced, and then all the things that have been announced. Like, there's so many cool things coming up. One of the ones that I think it'll be on this month's cutoff, which is June 24th, I think. The final initial order cutoff for you guys.
Spot on.
9 Stones.
Yeah, 9 Stones.
So dope.
Yeah, that was a cool one. That was a weird one for us because it was it was on Tapas, which is not something that I've ever been aware of or paid attention to. But then I just perused it one day because I think Vault or somebody had signed some books off of there. I was like, well, maybe we're missing out on something, and that was the first one that popped up. I think it had I can't remember, it was I think 4 million views or something like that, like 40,000 monthly subscribers.
Yeah,
it was crazy. So I just sent Sam an email, and he was down. And it's a good series. It's got a massive fan base overseas, not necessarily here. So that's going to be the cool thing, is exposing a new audience to it.
I think the covers look great for it.
Yeah, it's got 300 something pages done too. So we're churning out at least 12 to 15 issues for that thing. We're still formatting it, but yeah, it's a pretty cool series. So I think people will dig it.
Yeah, a blank cover too, which is
Is that your guys'
first for you guys?
Yeah, sketch cover. Yeah, it's a weird color for one too.
I like it. You can't go with the typical white all the time.
Let's say. Yeah,
I see Cinnamon up there.
Yeah, Cinnamon's a rad series, man.
I'm so excited. Yeah.
And
I'm still looking for a frame for the poster.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I got.
I'm picky.
Promise Me Darkness and the Cinnamon framed over on the wall over here.
Oh man, that's awesome.
Let's get hold on. Let me pull this off here.
We'll get a room tour.
The other corner there.
Nice.
So I might move some of that art that's over there and then put the original art over in that corner, and that might become the Behemoth corner.
Oh, we get our own corner? Oh man.
I also have some over here. I've got some of the You Promised Me Darkness on the wall.
Yeah. It's so rad, man. Yeah, we're hoping You Promised Me Darkness. Maybe we'll have some movie announcement on that soon. There's a couple. So there is a couple that we will have movie announcements on soonish. Fingers crossed. Cool. You Promised Me Darkness it's a really slow going movie process with that one. A lot of people. So, but fingers crossed. Oh,
right. There he is.
Damien just went there.
Dude, I just manifest people into here.
So this has been happening.
Apparently, it does it often.
Mm-hmm.
We were talking about I think it was one of the books from Beck Starr from Mad Cave.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
And the writer just appeared
Jumped in all of a sudden.
in the
We're
chat.
like, what?
I had never interacted with him before, and he was there.
It was just present. That's weird, man. It's
I mean,
my magic appearance.
if we
Prayer corner.
manifest it, we manifest it. I'm okay with that.
That's right.
Yeah, we're just making people appear.
Yeah.
Summon.
Yeah, Damien
Coming from the prayer corner, apparently.
Yeah, the prayer corner.
Great.
Yeah.
We are almost at 666 subscribers.
Yeah.
Heyo.
I know. I was trying for 666 by tonight. Didn't work, but
No, we can make it happen. We got hours.
yeah, we still got 40 minutes, guys. So if we get 666 subscribers by the end of the stream, there'll be some giveaways.
We can get some giveaways.
I got some stuff to give away. So, but some other things that'll be cutting off June 24th. Third issue of MFKZ for Happy Tank. You Promised Me Darkness is last issue for this volume.
Sad.
But
The covers are just
I know, right?
so good.
Yeah, Damien sent me like 40 covers for that series,
Hey,
and every
J2 just
one
jumped
was so
in.
good.
Me too. Nathan was just talking about this horror convention in Texas. You need to message him about it because you would love it.
Do it. It's in September. It's coming up.
That is
Awesome.
right up his alley.
I might have to take a trip over there.
I was gonna say you might.
What part of Texas is it in?
It's Dallas. It's right next to us. It's in the airport.
Okay.
It's kind of weird. It's in
Nice.
DFW
Weird.
airport, and yeah, it gets a pretty big following every year. Pretty good audience and pretty good guest. I don't know this year who all the guests are. I know it was like Cronenberg and other people, but I don't know.
Yeah, he's over in Austin, right? Austin, I think.
Good old Austin.
It's probably not too far for him.
Hey.
Yeah, some other stuff. You know, this book. I don't know, man.
Yeah, awful book.
What's this one?
Awful book.
Crazy writer. I don't know.
Yeah. Poor guy. He's probably not even here anymore. We're just like saying that.
I know, right? I'm just trying to see what he would say in the chat.
Okay, he's totally not.
But yeah, no, I love how the covers kind of have this same style too.
Yeah, I was just thinking that.
Yeah, Victor Santos is a really sick artist. He did Polar with Dark Horse, and it's on Netflix. Mads Mikkelsen, Vanessa Hudgens. Kevin quit the chat. Yeah, there he goes.
Oh wait, that's a great. I know exactly what movie you're talking about.
Yeah. So Victor Santos is the writer and artist of that book and a bunch of other books, and he's a great artist. And so Kevin was the first one to say like we should get him on that. And he did some great covers, honestly. And Kevin has some more stuff coming with Victor Santos, so I can allude to that. So, yeah.
Awesome to hear. Cinnamon already can't wait for issue number 1 to physically come out. I mean, we got the sneak preview of that one. Got to read it in Victoria.
Yeah,
so good.
That was such a good start to the series. Junkie Cable. That one is so weird.
That's a good way of putting it. It's actually there's a funny story. I think that was the first book we signed, I think, ever in 2018.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, so that's a crazy thing that's like kind of like finally coming out. And Claudio, for a while, I'm pretty sure Claudio hated us because we were just like, listen, like it's gonna be released, we promise. It's just like we have to like make it the right time.
Do some things.
Yeah, so it's cool that it's finally coming out, and the response has been really good for it. Yeah, it's like you said, it's weird, but I think it's a fun kind of weird. It reminds me a lot of Saga, and it's just kind of crazy and out there space kind of stuff. So I think people will dig it though. But that is the final issue of the first arc. So
nice. So that
means it's getting another arc.
Second arc?
Maybe.
Lip of the tongue.
Oh, he's
Kevin. He's having fun tonight.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, the art in it, like, it really puts off like a anime manga style, which I really like.
Yeah. And Stubbs commented that Cronenberg is making another movie finally, and that reminded me, actually, because he's making another movie, he's not going to be at that horror convention, so bummer. But we are potentially working with his son on something, Brandon Cronenberg, who did Possessor, which is a really good movie. and has another movie coming up, which I don't know if I can say the name of it. I think it's been announced, but I'm not 100% sure. So, but maybe we have. So,
Another movie.
one to leak.
Yeah.
But yeah, another good movie. But yeah, the Cronenberg family is just killing it. Possessor was great. Yeah, it totally was, dude.
Yeah.
Love that movie.
I don't watch horror movies.
His next one's crazy. Oh, what? What?
I don't like to be scared.
Kick her out of
Listen,
here.
okay, I will say this. I watched
Right.
The Babadook, and it was a very good movie.
That's a really
Cinematically,
good
it was
movie.
terrifying, but it was a
Yeah.
wonderful story.
It is a really good movie. I like that one.
I have a lot of real-world terrors that I don't like to happen in movies, and they happen.
Yeah, that the first movie to ever do that for me was It Follows. You know, that kind of like that fear that you're
my
always
roommate
being.
told me about that, and she was like, "You shouldn't watch this, but it's great."
Yeah, don't watch that. It's honestly, it's one of the greatest movies. But yeah, don't watch that if you ever have a fear of like being followed or being looked at. Yeah, that's nope.
It's so weird because we're both really into these horror comics, and neither of us.
I'm good. Don't bring it into real life. I don't need to see it physically depicted in real life with humans. No.
Right.
No.
Antiviral, yeah, it's a good movie.
I've not heard of it. There's a couple that, yeah, I mean, there's one we definitely have to watch that just released, Spare Parts.
Yeah, that's yeah. So we got some more stuff coming up with that company too. Raven Banner did also Raven Banner did Turbo Kid, which is another comic we're doing with them. They did another movie called Psycho Gorman, which is kind of taking the indie kind of market by storm right now. It did really good, and then we have some cool stuff with them we're announcing pretty soon. Maybe something along the lines of like a first look deal. We'll see, but it's going to be pretty cool, and we're excited. And we're doing some other cool stuff with the Turbo Kid as well with them, like maybe some VHSs and some stuff. So speaking of VHSs and VCRs, so
I still have like my old Disney movies.
Yeah, I was gonna say then you're gonna love that.
I have some VHSs still. Actually, in college, I went and bought a VCR so I could watch some of those VHSs.
Yeah,
we still have an old VCR player. I don't know if it works.
Yeah. Let's see what they say. Seems like there's more publishers releasing 4 to 6 issue mini stories. Do you think it's a new way of releasing? Yeah, it kind of sucks, man. It's like it's not. It's like one of those weird things. Like we're going back and forth about like, is it good for the industry or is it bad? Because comics, like, you know, there's like not a lot of money in it, obviously. So it's one of those things where, especially for us, like we're coming from the video game industry where like yearly you're doing like 200 billion, 300 billion is what the industry does, where the comic book industry does like 1.2 billion a year. So when there's not a lot of money in it, everybody kind of looks for like what's the easiest way to make money. And so like, yeah, 18 to 20, 30 issue series is just, it became like one of those things where it's not really viable, at least for indie companies. They can be, but
I feel like
not a lot of people want to take the risk.
For the authors and the artists too, it gives them more time to do more things because they get to have those breaks. But I know reading it, I'm always like, no, I want it now. I want more.
Yeah, it's tough. But for the purpose of exploitation as well in like film and other media, it makes sense, to do a 4 to 6 issue, see if the buzz is there, and then if it's not there, you have no commitment. The story ends at least at a certain point, and then you can make another IP. So, yeah, it's kind of a bummer. It's kind of changing things, and that's why you're seeing like comics doing less compared to graphic novels now, because some people are like, well, only 4 months from now the graphic novel will be out, so I'll just get the graphic novel. And so, yeah, it's got this kind of weird thing that it's a push and pull, and we'll see where it ends up. But I don't know. I still like doing comics.
Yeah, I kind of like it because it does have that, like, okay, here's the definitive thing. It gives you kind of a, this is going to go to here. But I also don't like it when I really like the series, because then I'm like, I want to keep reading it.
Yeah, that's the bummer, and that's what we had to like learn with like You Promised Me Darkness. Is like, well, Damien had the 4/5 issues done, and it was like, well, if we had prepared, that thing could have kept going for 15, 20, but we weren't prepared for that. So now the cool thing is like we get to do, like E-Man's saying, is like, because the arc finishes there definitively, we can reapproach now and do another arc and re-release it here in 2022.
Do other things.
Yeah.
So no.
But I have seen some cases where they planned on a 6-issue book. I think what's the Silver Coin from Image, they were going to do that, and then was doing so well that they were like, we're just going.
We're just gonna expand it. Yeah.
Is that something that you guys would think about doing? I guess if the writer and artist were able.
We almost did that with You Promised Me Darkness. I think the thing is like the amount of pressure that like we had to place on Damien to get it done in time, because like he had it done before we picked the book up, but then he redid it and then so it became a thing of like we can't put that pressure on him to do that. And but yeah, in certain cases that would make perfect sense, that if your artist wasn't pressured and could handle that and wanted to see it continue on, yeah, you would totally do that.
Yeah, great question for sure.
Jesus.
Kevin, good lord.
He's making faces, make him stop.
Kevin's fun in the chat.
Have your VHS tapes graded? Really?
It doesn't surprise me.
You know, that's the thing I heard the other day, and I didn't know that was a thing, but like VHS tapes weren't made to last. So like apparently like a lot of them were graded for like, I don't know, like 15 to 25 years or something like that. And now people are like realizing like we're in that time frame where everything's like degrading VHS wise, and a lot of them don't work anymore. It's weird.
Interesting.
That's awesome.
You know, Stubbs said it reminds me of Polanski a lot, especially the Tenet. Yeah, for sure. Good old Roman Polanski. Not a good person, but a good director.
So you guys also not just are doing comics, but you guys have a record label coming?
Yeah. So yeah, that's been a cool thing. It's not so much a record label, but it's like where we're re-releasing. Well, actually, it is some upcoming vinyl and some re-releases. There's a lot of cool bands on there, and I think so far we got like 8 or 9 of them signed, and
it's impressive.
Yeah. So yeah, we're doing a bunch of stuff with record labels as well. Who was that? Sorry, Tribal and Ruby. Okay, bye. But oh no, they're not leaving. I thought they were leaving. They're like, don't leave.
Oh, no,
I mean to say bye.
Yeah, he's leaving.
Bye. Leave. But yeah, no, a lot of cool music stuff coming in as well. I think that was part like reflective of where we always wanted to be. We always wanted to be doing different stuff besides comics. It wasn't just comics. And so like as we started to grow, we talked about different things like film, potentially investing in some productions. And that became like, well, you're talking, 200, 300,000. And it was like, okay, well, maybe video games, getting back into those and investing in some indie productions. And it's like, well, you could be talking around the same value as there. And then it became like the one thing that kind of seemed simple to get into is records and vinyl and cassettes and stuff like that. So we have some cool stuff. Again, Turbo Kid, like the soundtrack of that. So we'll be doing some like movie soundtracks as well. So there's a lot of cool stuff. A lot of interesting stuff.
Yeah, I saw there were some things on the store also. There's a vinyl and a cassette on the store. Yeah,
that was kind of weirdly separate from that. But that was like in doing that like helped us to see like, oh, these are really profitable. And it's a weird thing. So like it turned out like the cassettes are more profitable than comic books. So it's like every time we were selling a comic book, about 1 in every 3 of them were sold with a cassette for that specific book. So we were like, we're making more money off the soundtrack, like, or at least very similar amount of money off the soundtrack than the actual book itself. So it became a thing to is that an 8-string Ibanez next to you? Yeah. Yep, it's an RG8. You are correct. That was a good eye. Oh. But the soundtrack there. But yeah, a lot of the bands we're working with are bigger bands, roughly. I think the biggest one we signed so far is a band. I think they got like 2.3 million likes on Facebook. It was something pretty huge. We were like, oh, because we have like 6,000, so they had like 2.3 million, and we were like, all right, it's cool. And so yeah, pretty cool stuff though.
This is actually a question I've been thinking about recently.
I'm just working with smaller comic book shops so they can get their own exclusive cover. Yes and no. It's been a weird thing, like with the speculative market, where it's just kind of blown up. So the amount of emails coming in from stores and like pop-ups, there's like a lot of pop-ups that aren't comic book shops and that are just like consumers out there that are creating their own little label to do exclusive covers. And I don't want to say 1 email a day, maybe a little less than that, maybe every other day, but it gets really hard. So the biggest thing I think would be time and reaching out first before anybody else. So if there's anything that like pops up in the catalog, like the first day it pops up, Because one of the things that we've been troubling with is scaling, and Kevin could tell you that. So like with like MFKZ, I think we had 21 total covers or something like that.
Oh wow.
And that was a nightmare. So it actually held up production, and like the printer was like it hated us, and so it was a mess to deal with. So and then there was a lot of stores that were late, and there were stores that like wanted to see it and change something like last minute, and then there were stores that were past like the date, and so it became a mess. So like what we try to do now is limit. Like we don't necessarily need it because we offer it at the same price, like $1.99 that any store can buy them for anyways. So they're not something that helps us out too much. So we now just limit it. So like it's kind of a first come first serve type of thing if somebody wants to do one. So I hope that answers the question. It's kind of vague, but
I think so. So it sounds like the process, if they wanted to do it, would be to email you guys pretty early on.
Yeah, like for a specific one, let us know which one. And just kind of throw out all the details, like the artists and stuff like that, who you're working with, and then we'll get it going. I think, like right now, what you'd be looking at is anything in the next catalog that would launch here. Maybe Kevin knows, but it launches here in a few days. Which would be like Turbo Kid and stuff like that. So
yeah, I think that was that Friday.
I think today's Friday. Is it next Friday?
Oh, yeah.
I didn't know if it was
might
today.
Be next Friday. It might be
is
next Friday because the 24th is the initial order cutoff for this catalog. So
they'd probably announce it
Friday, the day after.
I don't know. Let me see. You think I would know these things, right?
However, Diamond does their.
That may help a little.
God, I just lost my camera there. Shot that through the roof. Yeah, I don't know what day it is, but well, you know what? Let me just go ahead and find it in case E-Man wants to reach out for that one. I need to. 2021 preview schedule. It is. Previews on sale date is. We're not in September. What day? Whoa. No, it is. Yeah, the 25th. So that's
okay.
fine.
Yeah. So the initial order cutoff fund the 24th, and then the next catalog comes out the 25th.
Yeah, so the catalog isn't even out till like the 30th on that one. That's really late. Normally it's out way before then. So weird month.
Yeah. Kevin's saying sorry.
21 covers.
Yes. Say sorry, Kevin. No. He's good.
Not to him, to the printers.
Yeah, right. Yeah, right. It's his printer. It's the one that he hooked us up with. So. Is there crazy YouTube variant? Yeah, variants are tough. Like we offer them at a pretty good price. So like I think us and Boom maybe. And by the way, congratulations on having Ross on the show the other day. I thought that was really rad. He's a great guy. So, but I think us and Boom are the lowest prices at $1.99, and so minimum can be as low as $250. It can be as high as $500. It depends on like what the title is, but 250 copies, which is so yeah, variants are a tough thing to get into, but it's a good market because you can sell them for so much higher than $1.99. So a lot of people are profiting a lot off of those.
Yeah, depending on the artist that you get on it, it's some of those artists do crazy artwork on them, and
yeah, MFKZ had some of the coolest ones ever, man.
Yeah, I got which one did I get? I think the one from Farside.
Mm-hmm. That one's really cool.
Ryan Brown.
Yep, that one's cool.
Yeah,
that's the one that's like landscape, isn't it?
Yeah, and he's like flying through like
bullets and stuff. Yeah, that one's cool, man.
I know which one that is now.
Yeah, that one was pretty cool. And they were doing a cool thing where you could, if you're like the first 50 people, you could get one of the ratios. If you're the next 50, you got the other ratio.
That's sweet. Man.
Yeah, I think is that Kevin's shop too? I know it's a shop that he's been to since things opened up there, and he did that.
He had like a shop. I don't know if that's the one. Probably not. I think the shop he was working at before stuff closed down. But I mean, obviously he'll correct me in the comment section here. I'm pretty sure it's not his shop, but it's a shop in terms of like it's his friends. Like all the ones that he's gotten are people that he knows and are good people that we trust and good stores. Garbage Pail Kids covers, man. Yeah, we have so many of those for MFKZ. They're really cool. I think
Garbage Pail Kids are coming back, or they're getting a movie or something.
Right, something like that.
Yeah,
I think
something that was announced involving them.
Yay! I think But yeah, I think maybe we'll do a whole collection of all those Garbage Pail Kids covers eventually or something. I don't know. We'll figure it out. But those are
That'd be
cool.
dope.
Yeah, there's a ratio one for issue number 1, and then it becomes like a cover B or C for the rest of them.
Yeah, I did not plan that out correctly. I don't know what I was doing, but yeah, I just kind of threw it somewhere far side of the bathroom.
Yeah, that's funny. They'll just suddenly become ratio variants when MFKZ takes off. Oh.
Yeah, right.
Surprise ratio variants.
Yeah.
Surprise.
MFKZ is one of those things that it's so humorous because like with issue 6 is where MFKZ 1 ends, but the amount that's already done beyond there is crazy. I don't know how much Kevin would let me talk about, but there is a lot more, many issues that are complete, ready to go. There's spin-offs. There's even a magazine that we're kind of working on with Run.
Oh, nice.
And yeah, which is super weird. Again, we like doing weird stuff, so like it perked our ears up when Run had it. And so yeah, there's a lot of cool stuff coming on MFKZ. So I think it's a good one for people to jump into.
Yeah. No, I know Kevin was saying kind of like all the source material with it. Like France had it the other way than we're getting it.
Yeah.
Where it was, they had all the comics first.
Yeah.
They got the movie, and then America got the new movie. Now we're getting the comics. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a weird flip-flop, but I think it worked because I think, Netflix is so prevalent here compared to comics, whereas in France, it's actually, I don't know, again, Kevin will probably correct me, but I think the idea there is I don't want to say like they're even in terms of a medium. He says it's not my shop, they are my homies. Yeah, but I don't know if it's like even in terms of a medium, but at least like comics as an art form is much more big there. But here, yeah, I think it helped like having it on Netflix first, where people like I've been surprised how many people recognized it from Netflix and saw it already, and that's been kind of a cool thing. I think that helped.
Yeah, no, I think when you mentioned it originally, I was like, oh, I'm gonna go watch this on Netflix, and I thought I had seen it before when I saw the guy. I hadn't seen the movie, but I'd come across it.
I'd heard of it before at some point in my life.
Yeah,
it's
scrolling
such
through.
it's such a big series over there. I didn't realize it was like 300,000, nearing in on like 400,000 copies sold over there,
Wow.
which is cool. I think in
That's
that
impressive.
like we surpassed like 40,000 on the first issue alone. So
yeah,
maybe we'll beat that. Probably not, but we'll try. I don't know. Goals.
Keep those the sales going at that size.
Let's hype it up constantly.
Yeah.
10 issues in, boom, 400,000.
Right. Yeah. Makes sense.
That'd be pretty cool. Earlier, we were talking about, having Behemoth make video games and decided not to go down that route.
Yeah.
I know you've been, there's some news there eventually that we're going to get, which I'm excited for you guys to be able to announce all of the news that came in there.
Yeah, there is, on the video game front, there's a lot of licensed video game comics. So we did that with like Hotline Miami, and that may be the only one we've done so far in terms of video games, in fact.
Yeah.
Which is weird because before we were Behemoth, we did 2 more. And now post-Behemoth, well, not post-Behemoth, what am I talking about? Still during Behemoth. Yeah.
What's the new name now?
Surprise. Yeah, we're not bad idea. So, no, it's, spoiler alert on that, by the way. They're not dead. But yeah, so, I think there's like 6 or 7 I showed you, but even beyond that, there's still definitely a bunch more video game comics that we have coming. But yeah, in terms of like even like video games as another media that we'd like to explore, I think before too long. We've talked about kind of continuing the trend of what we're doing, where like when we talked about like vinyls and stuff, it's like limited run. So with like the vinyl stuff that we're doing for bands, it's where like we have like our own exclusive color of vinyl or whatever it might be. Even like when we're talking about like Turbo Kid doing the VHSs for it, like it's a limited run thing. Also, we talked about for video games maybe doing like a limited run collection of stuff that hasn't been collected like on disc yet. So there's other companies doing that already, but maybe that's how we get into video games. But in terms of comics, there is some really cool stuff coming up that I've showed you that I think people will dig.
Hey, you guys have games on your website.
Totally have an arcade on here too.
Yeah.
Totally. Can we talk about how sad I am about the one comic book video game series that isn't going to happen?
Uh-oh.
I shared that little piece with her.
Which I don't remember. Is there any like
Outer Worlds? Yeah.
Oh, there is Oh, the Outer Worlds one. Yeah, man, that
they
one's a
got bought.
bummer.
That's so
Because
sad.
they
I
got
love
bought
that
out.
game.
Yeah, so I reached out to Strauss Zelnick a while back, and he owns Take Two, which owns the company called Private Division, which can we announce the Tetris series, Revenge of the Box? No, Brett. Maybe I'll say we're announcing a series he is on though, and he is on one of those ones, Jeremy, that I sent to you. So he is writing.
Is it the one that you shared the images?
No, not that one. But there's another one. And he does have images from his I can share with you. He just sent me another one today that looks really cool. So it's and it is Wilson that's going to be on it as well from Paranormal Hitman. So we got the whole crew coming back.
Back together.
Oh, dude, what were we talking about? Caroline, do you remember?
Outer Worlds.
Oh, Outer Worlds. Yeah. So yeah, I reached out to Strauss Zelnick, who owns Take Two. Take Two owns Private Division. Private Division is the publisher of Outer Worlds. Turns out it was just like a publishing deal, and that's part of Private Division's thing is they don't own the IP. So then we had to reach out to Obsidian. So it became a thing like it was already taking forever to get to anybody, and like you're slowly going down the chain.
Mm-hmm.
And then by the time we finally got there and they were interested, it just kind of fizzled out and no emails were getting responded to. And then you hear the announcement that Microsoft bought out Obsidian. So yeah,
I would have
I'm
read
so sad
the shit out of those books.
There is so many licensed stuff that there was a time where we were doing like a Super Troopers comic. There was a time where we were doing a comic for Payday. Yeah, like Payday 2, which is another video game.
Oh yeah.
There's so many ones that we were doing, and then Peaky Blinders was another one that we did a thing for. Black Mirror, we did a thing for that one, featuring the guys that did Hotline Miami Wildlife. It was cool. There's so many that people don't see. Like of this past year alone, there's been so many ones that we've worked on and sent pitches for. Pitches have been approved, contracts have been signed even, and then things have just not, worked out. So licensing stuff it's miserable, but when it works out, it's fun. So
pretty great sometimes.
Yeah, sometimes.
Anything that you're playing that hasn't been, like something that you're working to get into comics that you'd want to get into comics?
In terms of like a video game?
Yeah.
One we really wanted was Cyberpunk, and we were one of the first ones to make an offer for that, and Dark Horse beat us, obviously. Humorously, there's another company we reached out to recently. There's one game that's not announced, so I can't say it, but Dead Island 2 is another one of their games that is announced, and it was a crop of that game that hasn't been announced and this game that has been announced that we made a pitch for, and then he was like, while we were on the thing with the phone, he was like, listen, he's like, we want to do an art book for it. And can you guys do an art book? I'm like, well, we haven't done an art book yet, but we can. He's like, well, Dark Horse does art books, and they've already pitched for this comic, so we may have to go with them. We're like, are you kidding me? So Dark Horse, if you're listening, you suck. But at the same time, it's kind of the
CEO. We'll get them on.
Yeah. I don't know. Mike Richards
Dark Horse is your video game competition. It sounds like.
Yeah. There's certainly. I would say they're probably like our competition. Well, they're better than us. Like, don't get me wrong. They're but Phil said Half-Life comic. That'd be really cool. I think Valve would probably never let that happen.
So when are we getting an Animal Crossing comic?
Animal Crossing comic. Ooh.
What the world needs to know.
Yeah, I've been playing that recently. I just got me a Switch, and I'm guilty as charged. Animal Crossing was the first thing like I fired up in that Switch. But
same. I love that game. I've played almost every iteration.
Yeah, that's like the most expensive purchase I've made. Like I spent like $300 something just to play Animal Crossing.
I bought it on Black Friday like a year ago, just to be able to play it when it came out.
It took me so long to get a Switch that Animal Crossing wasn't like all the people that were playing it when it first came out weren't really playing it anymore when I got it. And I was like, cool.
Yeah. But yeah, I was gonna say there's a few other ones that we've talked about doing. Phil said Deus Ex Comics. That'd be a good one to do instead of Cyberpunk. Is that Square Enix? I think it's Square Enix. That was before we were Behemoth as well. We were potentially doing Sleeping Dogs with Square Enix, which what in the world? I will eat a horse steak for supper. Okay, dude. Whatever.
Are you okay?
Whatever.
Blink twice if you're okay.
Yeah, I was gonna say we need to check on that guy.
Kevin, if you're okay, I sent you the link. So we need proof of life.
Yeah, we need to make sure you're okay, buddy. Yeah, but yeah, there's some other cool stuff we always talked about doing. I think Kevin's always wanted to do Borderlands, which is a really cool series. Eli Roth is doing the new movie. Oh,
I
Eli
was
Roth
so
is
excited.
somebody.
I'm so excited.
Yeah.
Yes, if you ever work with him and want to introduce me, because that man is amazing.
Well, I can say that we're already working with him, and I can introduce you already. So, but not on Borderlands. Not on Borderlands. It's
That's
something
okay.
else.
I love him.
It's really cool. We're waiting for
Glorious
his.
bastards.
Oh, wouldn't that be cool? Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. The whole time, like I've been like, we don't get to talk to him too much because he's been on set for Borderlands. But when we first were talking to him, it was like the whole time I was like wanting to hold back of saying something about like the Bear Jew. You know, I was like, man, like because that's one of my favorite
The
roles. Like,
most
in any movie.
iconic. Oh,
But yeah, you don't want to be that guy that's like DMing him some weird stuff. So, but yeah, but it is cool. He's weirdly the friendliest guy on planet Earth, and just a happy dude, and fun to work with. But yeah, because of Borderlands, it's been like kind of like on a standstill. So we're hoping that one's still
is he
going
doing
forward.
a horror comic? I know he does.
It is a horror comic.
movies.
Yeah, it is, and it's tied to one of his movies. I can say that. So.
Oh, dope.
Yeah, so it's one that didn't get a sequel, and so the comic will be a sequel. So fingers
Very
crossed
cool.
that comes to fruition
Now,
soon.
figure out which one it is.
Waiting on his lawyer is what I was going to say. We're waiting on.
Yeah.
So
Do some
Borderlands.
reading?
No, Borderlands comic would be chaotic. Yeah, Borderlands comic would be chaotic. Deus Ex,
so
is that Dark Horse
excited.
2, Kevin? Really?
Yeah.
Good lord.
Deus Ex at Adios Montreal, owned by Square Enix. Yeah, so Square Enix, like I got a good contact there, but yeah, if it's at Dark Horse, then it's at Dark Horse. So
Yeah.
bummer.
Are they talking about Hallmark movies again?
Georgie Fine Love. Oh boy.
They almost seriously are about to start a Hallmark YouTube channel. The two of them.
Do it. What are they reviewing them or something?
I think so.
I think so.
Oh my god! Actually, that could be really cool though. I made that
Travel says Red Dead.
Because like I was gonna say like because nowadays it's Ibanez RG8. It's yes, I play metal. I used to play metal. Now I don't have time. I have a drum set you can kind of see behind me if I turn the right way. Yeah, I got that, and then there's a bass guitar there,
Wow.
and
My brother plays drums. He got all the musical talent.
Yeah.
I listen to and appreciate music.
Yeah, it runs in my family, and I'm the one weirdo that makes comics. So, whatever.
Like a music comic.
Yeah. Oh, you say that we're doing that. So
yeah,
and
exactly.
it's a really cool band that I've grown up listening to, and we're getting to make a comic with them.
Oh, that's
and
awesome.
yeah, I'm excited.
That's so cool.
Sparks is a celebrated opera singer. I have my doubts.
I do too.
Yeah, you don't even know.
Man,
just a weird dream you had one day,
Right. So we said opera at the same time. Yeah, that's funny. Oh, Lord.
Yeah, we'll be playing opera guitar on our Hallmark.
Oh, crazy!
I will be tuning in.
Oh man, that's amazing. So you guys have coming up. You said New York Comic Con, San Diego Comic Con, the Horror Con in Texas.
It's called Texas Frightmare Weekend. That is in September. We got New York Comic Con in October. That's going to be really rad if anybody is there. We have what we're dubbing as Behemoth Island. And it's really, it's a guy named Michael Calero. He came up with that name, and he's a really rad dude. He's going to be out there with us. It is really cool. So it's this massive walk-in booth that you actually get to see. We have this banner hanging from the roof of the Javits Center that says Behemoth on it. It's amazing. And we're so excited because we've never had anything like that before. So yeah, New York Comic Con is going to be amazing. Texas Frightmare Weekend in September is going to be rad. And then I think we skipped November, and December will be at C2E2 in Chicago and Emerald City in Seattle. And then it begins the wonderful year of next year conventions. I think we'll be in Tokyo. Which is going to be, we're going to be in Tokyo. We're going to be, we'll also be hopefully at the one in Sao Paulo, Brazil as well, CCXP. I got my fingers crossed.
That's amazing.
Their COVID stuff's a little rough down there still, as are certain places. As is Tokyo. Tokyo's having, they're like still in like an emergency lockdown for another 2 days. So I don't know. Well, fingers crossed though. But next year we'll get there.
Kind of wait and see.
The con in New Orleans in January.
Right. I was about to say, if we know who's over that one, we could totally possibly do that one, because January and February I think are completely wide open. I don't think it's until March. We have like WonderCon or something like that.
I think it's WizardCon.
Yeah. Wizard. Yeah, I need to reach out to them. Oh yeah, Brett's
I
gonna
don't know if there's any in Virginia. I'm sure there are.
Oh, there probably is. Yeah.
Yeah, Wizard
DC in August.
Yeah. I say Brett said in my CC he's going to be there as well with us, which is going to be super rad.
I just gotta ask my mom if it's cool for me to not be here for her birthday.
I just told my mom. I was like, "Listen, like I've been here for 29 of your birthdays, so I'm gonna miss one of them. It'll be okay.
Be fine.
Yeah, or 28 of them. I was I forgot my age.
This would make 29th. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Wait, you said May 29th?
No, I said this would make.
Oh, May 29th. Dude, I thought you were talking about some date. I was like, that is not my birthday.
No.
So it's weirdly close. It's June 1st.
Yeah.
Zombie Christmas families. They're having a whole conversation in your chat.
Yeah. They're
happens.
talking about combining their horror and Hallmark channels into a mashup.
Do the zombies find love under the mistletoe?
There's a movie about zombie finding love, and
there's a movie about anything on Hallmark Channel. Hallmark Channel is the one that did the KFC movie as well. I don't know if y'all saw that, but just don't see that. Yeah, it's they did the KFC movie. Dead serious about the about the Colonel. Yeah, it's not good. But that's why I'm saying their channel.
I remember seeing like a tweet about that or something. That's
right. And it's a real thing, and it's a real movie, and it's awful. And but that's what I was saying. Their channel would be awesome, like reviewing Hallmark movies, because I don't know like what you would do for like what's a good Hallmark movie. When is the Behemoth World D&D game starting tonight? Dude, that would be sweet.
Yeah,
we need to do like some D&D or something, or figure
out
something.
Our dungeon master is Travel and Root Beer, who we had tagged in there. We've been playing.
Campaign is getting ready to end.
Do y'all do a campaign on the channel?
On his channel,
yes.
On his channel, okay. I need to jump in on that. It'd be fun.
We are all going to die very soon.
We're about to we're about to end this campaign, and then
I'll be
we're gonna
jumping
do
in
some like one-shot stuff and some
yeah, we'll have to get you in. Do like a whole Behemoth squad game.
Yeah, get the whole crew.
That would be fun.
Well, be
definitely gotta set something up. I got someone jumping in right now. Backbeat, hello.
Welcome.
Jumping in at the end with Mario Lopez. That's who it was, Kevin. Yeah. So Mario Lopez plays.
That's why I remember it.
It's so like that's the thing. Like it was like they got legit actors in there, and it's like I couldn't believe it, man. So whack. I watched it though. By the way, it was pretty good. No, I'm just kidding. Got my alarm going off.
I thought like 15 minutes ago, Kevin was like, I gotta go film a.
Yeah, he's like, I have to go do a podcast.
He's still lurking.
He's probably doing both at the same time.
You got one in one ear, one in the other.
That's great. Yeah. I love it. I know we were talking about it when the unannounceable things are announceable. We'll have you come back on and talk about those.
Yeah, for sure. It's like I said with you, I think maybe one next month. If not August or September for sure. Because it'll be coming out in previews around that time. Otherwise, the one that Brett's working on, I think we're announcing at New York Comic Con, but he may be able to jump on like before then and announce that one. There's a Netflix one that's finally moving forward that we thinking also New York Comic Con.
Nice.
I think one of the actors is going to be at New York Comic Con, which is really sweet. And
Man, I need to find my way to New York Comic Con.
Yeah, I
you
gotta go
do.
request a
That's
weekend
why
off.
we're hyping it up, and our booth is going to be really cool. So that's why. Plus, we spent like 20,000 on that booth, so it's like
Oof.
we better hype it up because it's like
Yeah.
we're broke.
Yeah.
So no, we're fine.
Everybody go see them at New York Comic Con.
Yes, please.
Time to go buy
No,
my
we'll be fine.
ticket.
Yeah, it's gonna be fun though. But yeah, it was weirdly expensive. So, but
It's one of those big cons. I guess.
it's worth it. Yeah.
Yeah. And then just to flash these back up on the screen for people, some of the things they'll be announced in the catalog this month.
Yeah. Well, yes and no. Next month. So this month is Turbo Kid and Nobody's Child from Massimo Rossi, and which you see the second issue of there.
Yeah.
I guess second issue of Turbo Kid's also there. What am I saying? And yeah, so that's going to be October's stuff, which would be announced in August.
Okay.
So, way to ruin everything.
Sorry.
Just spoiled it all. No, it's good.
You done did it, Jeremy.
Yeah.
I asked if I could flash those images up earlier.
You're good.
Surprisingly, there's secrets in there.
Yeah, no, there's no secrets with us. Besides a lot of secrets, apparently.
I was gonna say,
Besides the
what am I
ones we
talking
can't
about?
talk about. I knew
besides the ones that we can't talk about.
Yeah, secrets.
Waiting for the links. I'm still watching you guys. Yeah. Oh, Kevin.
I mean, I sent you another link. You could have been on here this whole time, Kevin.
Yeah, I was about to say you could have been just chilling on here with us. But now it's over. It's
funny.
But yeah, I'd love to come back on, and especially before New York Comic Con, because I would like to maybe I can leak a few things to you. And so FOC is a big thing, and that's going to be that's going to be literally the releases that you're showing there. So that was part of that. Is like I was saying, like where we get the 9 pages, and we get in the catalog, we get our own section, and so those titles are going to be the first ones on FOC. Diamond will make an announcement here in like a month or two about that. And so you'll see us on your FOC show. So if you ever want me to jump on that with you, I can also jump on that and talk a little bit about those titles.
Yeah, absolutely. Especially the first one where you guys end up on FOC. That'd be good.
Yeah. Let's definitely do that. That'd probably be October, like the first week of October. So yeah, let's do that.
Somewhere in there. Yeah, absolutely. We'll set that all up. But thanks for hopping on with us again and talking about everything that's going on. Lots of cool things coming up from you guys.
Yeah, roughly.
And more to come that we keep
talking about all the crazy things they are in the chat. Kevin for his emojis.
Yeah, I know. I'm so focused on this chat. They have like their whole conversation going.
Yeah, Damien and Gabe for showing up. Surprise.
Yeah, Damien and Gabe. The whole
and Brett was in here too.
And Brett was in
here. Yeah.
Can't wait to see his and Wilson's new series and the return to Paranormal Hitman in the future.
Yeah, Volume 1 will be out before too long. That's going to be one of the first ones in this next quarter of what's it called? Simon & Schuster's releases. So people can keep an eye out for that too. Behemoth folks. Thank you, Phil.
Yeah.
For sure. If you got any more video game ideas, throw them my way.
Yeah, man. All of them.
All of them? Oh, whatever.
Borderlands, definitely.
Yeah, Borderlands would be really cool. Especially, that we have a connection with Eli Roth. I wasn't thinking about that until I said that, and I was like, wait a minute.
Oh, so we're about to close it, and look who just popped in here. All the crazy.
Oh, my God. All right, well, now I definitely got. Now I'm out of here, man.
And he just.
Wait, did I get kicked out?
No, I was just making it look like you left.
Oh my God, you have them all. Well, not all of them.
I have them all. And dude, those incentives are already pretty expensive on eBay. So if you got them, man, sell them. They worth more. I'm like, you're the one making money, not us.
Yeah, I know. It's crazy.
I've got one of them coming. One of them coming from the Far Side exclusive.
Awesome, dude. Yeah, that one is fucking crazy. I loved Ryan G. Hart. We got him to do a cover for Turbo Kid, yeah.
Oh, nice. Yeah, he did do it. Yeah, and his cover's really cool. Now my eyes are crossed. Yeah. We appreciate you and congratulations on your success in your beard. Oh, thank you. I've been working on it.
Yeah, the beard is incredible.
Yeah, it's fine. Yeah, we're doing. Me and Ryan are doing like our playoff beards. Like we had a thing like where we wouldn't shave
fun.
until like we reached certain sales figures, and it was like we started them last year. It was like 5,000, and then like we did that like the next month, and it was like 15. Then it was like 30. Then now it's 50, and then we did that.
You just don't want to shave your beards.
So yeah, I think maybe that's it. So yeah, we got to come up with something different. We haven't had time to come up with something different, but yeah, I think maybe it'll be something different. Maybe like when we hit 1 million comics sold or something, or $1 million or something. I don't know. I think 1 million's coming up. Not
What's the next book that's going to top the record?
I don't think anything can. I think 55,000 is pretty crazy. Even for stuff someone like Image, that's like something that they would be proud of. You know, they wouldn't be mad about that. So it's pretty crazy. We were lucky with that. That was reflective of like when stores were just reopening, and a good name of the comics. So I think Turbo Kid's going to do well. I think we were expecting that one to do at least 20, maybe it'll hit 30. I think from there, I think there's a few more on Kevin's list and a few more on mine or ours that definitely will. Me and Ryan have that one that I showed you the covers for, Jeremy. Yeah, I think we're expecting that one to do 30. But as far as 50, that's pretty tough. I think there's one. The Netflix one, because we got the likeness rights to the actors, and both of the actors are really. I don't want to say they're big, but they're really notable actors, recognizable. So
they're part of a good
comic book,
good TV universe.
Right? Yeah, TV universe, and it's a comic book.
few season, you know.
Yeah. So
they're recognizable.
But just to put you in context, a book like Skybound X did 80,000 copies, you know. So so just to compare, a book like Promising Darkness that did 50K, it's a lot because Skybound X like got Invincible. It's probably the oddest show on Amazon right now.
Yeah.
And the Walking Dead characters, so it's super big numbers, you know.
Yeah. I would say Bolt had just announced like their highest selling book, Barbaric, was 35,000. I was like, that
Right.
They've been around for longer than you guys, and so that just kind of like blew my mind that was their.
Fuck you, Walt.
Can I censor?
That blew my mind. I was like, wow.
Like, so it's like, here's the thing, like, and where Vault has to be given credit. Damien and Adrian are really good guys, and they're really hardworking. They have a more traditional way of going at things. Like Barbaric had like Scott Snyder like pumping it up, and you had like all these big kind of traditional creators. Yeah. Whereas we're kind of going about it a different way. So You Promised Me Darkness was kind of like focused at a speculator thing, where it was kind of marketed off of A Girl Walks Home Alone at Night. So when A Girl Walks Home Alone at Night came out, stores didn't realize it. Consumers did. They wanted it, but stores didn't order enough because they didn't realize what it was, didn't know anything about it, and didn't see it. And so stores didn't want to mess up again. So when a title like You Promised Me Darkness has a very similar kind of like long, catchy title, comes out, has the same black and white art style, has the same minimalistic covers, kind of hits that mark. Stores don't want to miss out on it. And then the one thing that is missing that Girl Walks Home Alone at Night had was a movie, and which is a good thing for speculators because that means, well, a movie's probably coming. So that's the reason why that one did so well. It just kind of hit all those marks where, you know, like MFKZ also beat Barbaric. It beat it well because Netflix, and it's a licensed title. Plus, it was like 56 pages, which is like a really cool oversized thing. Runs an incredible artist, and not saying that anything with Barbaric wasn't. It's just that like 35 for Vault is still great, and it's something that if we hit 35 again with like Turbo Kid, you know, again, it's a license and stuff like that. They're doing it off of stuff that to me would have been a pretty hard sell, but they're able to do it, and it's pretty cool. So good for them. At the same time, we beat you.
Yeah, it's one of the things that you never hear exactly what some of the numbers are, and then they had said that like that was their top selling, and I was just like, wow, I knew your guys' numbers had already been higher than that with the Promised Me Darkness.
Here's the other thing. Like we have highs and extreme lows. So like even at the beginning of the year, we had titles just selling 3,000 and 4,000 copies off the number one. Until You Promised Me That's the big thing with us, is that we're kind of figuring out like where our audience is, and now that we're going on FOC, we've kind of like more like catered our upcoming lineup and made sure that it's and that's why stuff like Stargirl's been like so slow to like come out,
So
is because we've
excited
been
for Stargirl.
yeah, like we've been kind of like holding certain things back to make sure that everything coming up from Kevin, everything coming up from us, and other companies to be announced
You gotta hold
that
back
are
the
going to be
Behemoth, though.
yeah, which is coming up, by the way.
Yeah, I just keep checking it every couple of weeks. I'm like, has it up yet? Can I buy
Yeah.
it? Have they said anything else
Right.
yet?
But yeah, everything coming up is more quality controlled. So and then like being on FOC will have a higher average. So, but that's the good thing I was going to say with Vault. I guess that was a long way of saying that, is that I think they average probably like 15 to 20, which we're just now getting to average 15 or 20 per. So
Yeah. Well, I think with the titles you guys have coming out, it's building up the brand name recognition of Behemoth.
right, yeah, I think that's one thing that we were trying to do, is kind of trying to create a cult, so to speak.
Yeah.
You know, that it feels good to be. Yeah. Right. Right. Yeah. It feels,
Not a call.
right. Yeah. It's something. Yeah. It's just something. I don't know. We're proud of it though. We'll see where it goes, but only up
Awesome.
from here, hopefully.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
Big things coming.
just to
Just
show
to brag
Kevin.
about it again.
Yeah.
Brag about
Just
it
to make
again.
Kevin a little
Dude.
jealous.
Dude, man.
I saw you guys first posted about it, and I was like,
I don't know why I did that. I was like, hey, who won it? And like 2 minutes after, you just sent me like a smiley that was. I was like, fuck, why did I share that? I won that.
Yeah.
you put the wink face on it, and I was like, or I put the wink face on it, and there was nothing,
Right.
like, no response. And then like later, you're just like, wait, did you get that?
Did you do the thing?
Bitch. That's funny, man.
Well, yeah, I'm glad you got it, dude. It's always cool when someone that, is really promoting the series we do and everything. So that's nice,
Yeah,
Yeah.
this is such a good job by the artist Drew Moss.
Yeah, I love Drumo's style. He really got his own style, and the cover. And what's the paper he used, man? It's super different than regular
Yeah.
paper. It's kind of cardboard or something.
Yeah, I don't even know how to describe.
Because even on the cover, we see the texture of the cardboard or
It's
something.
also interesting on
Oh shit, that's cool.
the back is like the framework for, I guess, what he was doing there.
Oh, that's kind of cool. If you use like a whiteboard. Oh no, it's upside. I don't know. That's weird.
So,
It's cool though.
yeah, it's upside down from that. I don't know if he printed it out from like a digital design and then did the colors and everything on directly on this. I don't know.
Yeah, well, that's what I was going to say. That's why when you posted that, I wasn't sure if you bought the original art, because I've never seen somebody do the colors on the original like that. And usually it's all done digitally nowadays. So that's sweet, though. That's a good piece to have.
Super cool.
That's why I hate you so much, because I want whatever. But yeah, let me jump off. I gotta walk my dog and give her medicine.
Yeah, you're
as I
good.
mentioned.
We'll wrap it up here, and I know
Sad.
Kevin may have a link soon to go on another.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I got. Hey, you coming? So yeah, I need to go as well.
But again, thanks everyone in the chat. Thanks you guys.
Hey, man,
for being
bye-bye.
on, and